Hello. Welcome to our community because turning pain into power is sexy. So, here we go. Let's talk about the Kundalini. Dun, dun, dun. Finally, it is here, y'all. So let's get right into it. First, I want to read you a couple of definitions I found on Google, just typing in Kundalini in Google and seeing what other folks have to say, how they define it. And one definition says, in Hinduism, Kundalini is a form of feminine energy that is said to be coiled at the base of the spine. The word Kundalini comes from the Sanskrit word meaning coiled snake. This energy can be awakened through yoga, mantras, asanas, and meditation. Now, I promised a video. I promised some content on the rising of the Kundalini. You guys probably saw my short that I posted here maybe a week ago, showing a video of a tree. I was on a hike and I saw a tree with a root growing out of the ground and coiling itself around the tree and making its way from the root to the crown of the tree. And I said, this is what it looks like on the inside of you when the Kundalini awakens, when you begin to activate your power. And some folks had some other things to say. Of course, they had their other technical perspectives, and some were saying, well, actually, that's an invasive plant that's actually choking the life out of the tree. Others said, yeah, that's a form of species, and it's taking all the life out of the tree. It's and you can probably look at the comments on that short. And I responded back to some of those comments, and I said, you're absolutely right. Their comments were really a reflection of their own perspective. Sure, we all know that root growing around the tree in nature is actually parasitic, right? But that's not what I was focused on. I said, this is what it looks like when you awaken your Kundalini, when you awaken your power. For those of us on this journey who are the chosen 144 ones, our perspectives and how we see things and how we view the world is completely elevated from the masses. We see things differently. We hear things differently. We are able to intuitively tap in to something much more deeper, much more profound, much more infinite than just the surface level obvious shit. All right. Hopefully I was able to school some of those people. As a matter of fact, one of the people that commented in that way apologized. And basically what I told them is their perspective was a reflection of not only what they know, but what they don't. And they are welcome to subscribe so that they can learn more. So what that video was depicting when that root was wrapping around the tree is, those of you who are familiar with the DNA helix know this very, very well. Some of you should also be familiar with the medical symbol of the snake or two snakes wrapping around a pole. Which comes from some religious background, but the snake winding around the body, also depicted in our medical field, in our hospitals, okay, is representative of the double helix, the DNA helix. The DNA helix is represented by the snake. And why do we think it's represented by the snake? Well, because that's what it looks like when it rises up the spine. That is what it looks like when it is awakened. That is what it looks like when it is activated. The snake represents the DNA strands. And so when I saw the tree and I saw that root wrapping around and making its way to the crown, that's exactly what the perspective was. That's what the message was. And so again, to those of you who are not familiar with this, continue to listen and make sure you subscribe so that you can be activated and awakened to a lot more than the surface level stuff. All right. So let's dive a little deeper. The Kundalini When you are on this journey of awakening your superpower, activating your superpower, i.e., your talents, your skills, your abilities, your purpose. Your purpose is why you were born, why you came to this planet in the first place. Those of you who are doing the work on and in yourself, this is what it looks like when your Kundalini begins to awaken. Take a look at these photos as they transition through this video. Make sure that you're paying attention to the video, paying attention to the screen. I've included quite a few pictorials that display, I think, just beautiful images of the feminine and snakes coiled around her body, around her neck. These images are not by me, they are by artists that I follow on Instagram, and I have included their credits in the description box below. So if you like the art that you're seeing in this video, make sure you go and follow their pages on Instagram and let them know that Timmésha Burgess sent you. Let them know that you saw their art right here on Alchemynity, because turning pain into power is sexy. Turning pain into power is sexy as it relates to the Kundalini. So let's get to the root of it. I want to read you all a couple of passages from my book, Activate: Unorthodox Philosophies that Explore Anxiety, Depression, and Suicidal Thoughts as Symptoms of Suppressed Superpower. And this is from chapter 3. And the title of this chapter is Mental Disorders and Suppressed Feminine Power. To those of you who already have your copy, I can't wait to hear from you. To those of you who haven't gotten your copy yet, it's available on Amazon in paperback or ebook. If you'd like to order it directly from me so that I can inscribe it for you, you can do that over on timmeshaburgess.com. So let's get to it. So I'm going to go to page 92. All right, so here we go. Throughout the book that was written through me, I should say, there are different sections that I've boxed out separate from the wording in each chapter. And these sections are what I call downloaded, uploaded, intuitively channeled messages. These sections are where I break in scientific thought and I allow spirit to speak directly and as raw as it wants to speak through me. And so you'll see these throughout the book, but this is one of those channeled messages. So here we go. Sensual and sexual energy is planted in the root chakra like a seed that is supposed to grow and rise. So many of you have not been properly taught how to nourish this inner seed power for growth. Many of you have stunted your energy seed in your root by continuously pouring it out in unfulfilling relationships, or it's being stolen, bought, or sold through sexual exploitation. The work for what you call sensual and sexual energy is to water and nourish it so that it can grow to rise into all other parts of your body and mind. You only call it sexual because that's the only place you have stored and activated this energy until this point. You have refused to grow it from there. You are not only aroused to then get rid of your arousal, you are to honor the energy that shows up in the emotion of arousing and grow it upward. You cannot be completely removed from the root's dark because it is your soil. To try to negate your dark root is futile. Grow power through the dark soil of your root, through your body, up and out of your crown chakra, like a tree. This is the idea of raising energy up from the lower to the higher, from dark to light for integration. Forever and always being rooted in the dark womb's root soil, like a tree on your earth, then growing out and bursting through the crown. It is being crowned up there. You are being crowned when you raise the energy up to the head, mind, crown, chakra. The body is the throne and the head is the crown. When your sensual and sexual energy rises from the lower to the higher, it reaches the crown, thus gaining its crown. Grow your sensual and sexual energy like a tree through your body, up and out of your crown. That is the work in which to gain your mental and emotional health, intelligence, and stability. This is how you sit boldly on your throne, the throne of you, with your crown and in your own power, knowing what you are here to do as ruler and leader of yourself. This channel message came through me from Goddess Katesh, the divine, the dark, the light, the all. Whoa, let's take a breather for a moment. Let me take a sip of my water with my electrolytes in it. Hold on one moment, y'all. I know we got to take a breather after that. I need these electrolytes. Woo. That was a soulful. I can't say a mouthful. That was a soulful. Was it not? When I allow spirit to just speak rawly through me, that's how it comes out. And so I'm going to do that right now. And I want to hear in the comments what y'all thought about that chapter, that page in Activate. Put it down in the comments below. Ooh, honey, even I need to breathe from that. So the Kundalini, raising it up. I just kind of want to talk about the depiction of the snake and what that means and what we've been taught to believe about it. We have been taught to fear snakes for so long. Now, don't get me wrong, I get it. I'm not saying I'm completely fearless of snakes. I mean, when I'm hiking through the woods, if I see a snake, I'm probably going to head the other way, right? But we have been taught to fear snakes. We have been taught that they are evil, that they were something that caused Eve to sin, and therefore that's why they slither on their bellies. We have been taught that they are unpredictable and dangerous and poisonous and will choke us out. To those of you who listened to my last audio, Bite the Apple, right? This is in alignment with the messages you heard in there as well. But we've been taught to fear the snake, especially as women. And we've been taught to vilify it and demonize it and be angry at it. And these teachings have also inadvertently taught us to fear ourselves. Being taught to fear snakes, or the snake energy, has taught us to fear our own power, has taught us to suppress our own power, which synonymously also causes us to create our own demise mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in our lives, in our love life, in our careers, in our friendships, in the world. Fearing the power of the snake energy is fearing the power of ourselves. And so as I look at some of these images in these videos, and I see the snake coiling itself around the feminine and how she embraces it and how she stands in this power. These pictures are representative of the feminine who has integrated and activated her Kundalini, her snake energy. So let's dive deeper into what the Kundalini is and why those of you who are the chosen ones, those of you who know you are the 144, are responsible for awakening and activating and integrating this energy. When you awaken this energy, it is awakening your inner God, goddess. It's awakening your sleeping beast, your deity. That is what it is. It is your sleeping beast. It is your inner God. It is your inner goddess. It's the inner dragon. As you see these pictures flip, you are seeing a woman standing in front of her dragon. It is awakening your beast, right? When you do the work on and in yourself and begin to awaken your Kundalini, the work doesn't stop there. See, a lot of people confuse, or they just kind of give you half of the story. I'm going to give it to you fully. You cannot just stop at awakening the Kundalini. It isn't enough to just awaken it. Imagine, right? You're lying in the bed and you got somewhere you need to be. You got somewhere you need to be. Your alarm clock has gone off and you're awake. But you being awake merely means you've opened your eyes. You're lying in bed, but you haven't gotten out of your bed. You haven't taken your shower. You haven't brushed your teeth. You haven't washed your face. You haven't done your hair. You haven't put on your clothes. You haven't put in your perfume. You haven't grabbed your keys. You haven't gotten in your car, or your Uber, or your Lyft, or the train, or wherever, your cab, the taxi. You're not on your way. You're just merely awake. Being awake means you are simply just, your eyes are open, but you're still just lying there. Being awake doesn't mean you're doing anything with your awakenness, right? So when you do the work on and in yourself to awaken your Kundalini, the work does not stop there. As we all know, this is an infinite journey. This is an infinite journey. We know this, right? But the next step after awakening is to raise it, to grow it, right? It's like, to those of you who are mothers, you gave birth. To those of you who are good mothers, you didn't just give birth, but you raised your child, right? You poured into your offspring the best of your best, right? You didn't just give birth like, okay, that's it, there it is, you're on your own, right? It had to grow, it had to rise, it had to learn to stand upright, to be an upright, full-fledged human being, right? So adopt the same concept when awakening your inner beast, your inner God, your inner goddess, your Kundalini, your power, your purpose as a chosen 144 one is to not only awaken your Kundalini, but to rise it, to raise it up. And so as I read in the passage from Activate, from my book Activate, okay, again, it's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook, or you can order your copy from me and I'll inscribe it for you. But as I mentioned, once you awaken it, you raise it up through your body, up to your crown, to be crowned. So here's the kicker when you awaken your Kundalini that a lot of people don't talk about, but I dive deep into this notion, into these aspects in Activate once you get your copy. Once you do the work on and in yourself, you're doing the inner shadow work, what we talk about, right? And you awaken your Kundalini. A lot of people don't dive deep into this point that I'm about to tell you, but here we go. Your Kundalini starts at the root, right? It starts down below. For my sisters, for my ladies, for my women, and for my fellas, okay? For my ladies, it awakens from your womb. It awakens in your pussy. It awakens from your vagina. Yes, it does. Fellas, it's going to awaken in your cocks, your phallics, your penis. Ladies, your pussies. That is where this energy begins to awaken. And so, if you have not developed the emotional intelligence required to activate and awaken this power so that you can integrate it, you will misuse and misinterpret what is happening in your body. Because when you awaken your Kundalini and it's beginning in the root, as everything does, just like a seed in the ground, when you plant a tree or a flower, you plant that seed in the ground and it begins to take root. This is the same thing that's happening in your body. When you water the seed within yourself, it begins to take root. It happens in the root, in your root chakra. And when you awaken energy from your root chakra, where it has to begin, it can't begin anywhere else, it has to begin there. you're going to become aroused. You're going to get aroused physically. This is how you know you are beginning to awaken your Kundalini, your inner God, your inner goddess, your inner beast, your inner deity, your sleeping God and goddess. This is how you know you begin to do the work, because you start to get aroused. Literally, you start to get horny. And horny a lot. The problem is when people start to work on the Kundalini who haven't gained emotional intelligence or mental health, and this energy starts to awaken itself, you start having people going out doing nefarious shit, trying to put it on Tyrone to get what they want out of him, thinking they got pussy power when you don't, thinking you dickmatizing somebody, but you're not. Because let me tell you something, it's premature energy. It's premature, it's immature energy, and you get nothing done with it. And if you do happen to get something from working your energy just from down there, it's temporary and it never lasts, because it hasn't fully taken root. It hasn't fully grown to its maturity, meaning it's like picking fruit off the tree before it had time to fully ripen. Right? You can tell a person who hasn't or isn't doing the work on and in themselves because they're just spreading it all over the place. When you start to awaken this Kundalini power, you are guarded at all costs. You are protected at all costs because it is protecting the throne. It's literally guarding the gateway to the ethers. It's guarding the gateways to heaven. Heaven on earth inside of you. So let's get back to the point. When you start to awaken your Kundalini, you get horny, you get aroused, and it's strong arousal. And so the imperative thing that people are missing is, once you get aroused, knowing that it mustn't stop there, that you mustn't pour it out right there, not right there, because it's just literally the snake is just literally beginning to rear its head, to raise its head up. And what I'm seeing in my mind right now is those, you ever seen like those old flute players, or those, what do they, I guess they're playing the flute, and it's like doo 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 doo, and the snake is coming out of the basket, and it's like just lifting his head like a baby being born, and the baby's learning to lift his head for the first time when it comes out of the womb. That snake is like a baby being born for the first time, and it's just learning to lift its head, and it's learning to sit upright, and it's getting its strength in its tail so that it can stand upright and no longer be coiled and slithering on the ground. So going back to my last piece of content about biting into the apple to activate your beauty, intelligence, power, and purpose, when we go back to the story of Eve and her being charmed by the snake, this is what's happening within us. That allegorical story of Eve being charmed by the snake was merely the feminine coming into her power, coming into her intelligence. So when the snake begins to speak to you, it speaks through you. It's beginning to raise up inside of you, to activate you and to integrate you for your mission and purpose, your divine mission and purpose on this planet. Make no mistake about it. So the mistake that people do make is cutting off the head of the snake before it has time to even stand upright. How do we cut off the head of the snake, you wonder? By fucking it away. Did I just say that? Yes, I did. How do you cut off the head of your Kundalini? By fucking it away. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with sex, intercourse, penetration between consenting adults who know why. Between emotionally intelligent and mentally stable consenting adults who know why. Don't get me wrong. Sex, penetration, intimacy is a beautiful thing when you know why. Okay? Some time ago, I wrote an article, and I also presented. I had to speak at a sexuality conference in Denver last October. And the most powerful article I guess I've ever written, I feel like I've written some powerful ones, but people seem to have gravitated towards this article because I created a video around it, which is still my most popular piece of video content on my YouTube today. It's what else can you do with your sensual and sexual power other than pour it out on Tyrone? And I delved into what to do with your sensual and sexual energy when it begins to awaken, when it begins to arise. And I bridged that with the power of celibacy and abstinence. Not celibacy and abstinence waiting for marriage. No, not that shit. No. If you want to know more, you're going to have to read my article. It's available on Patreon, and it's patreon.com/alchemynity. All right. But I talk about withholding or storing up your sensual and sexual energy so that you can do something else with it for right now until you decide to share it with a partner. And that doesn't mean waiting for marriage. And that doesn't mean waiting for one person. You may decide to have multiple partners, whatever floats your boat. All I'm saying is do something with it for yourself right now. Do something with it for your collective, for your village, for your tribe, for your community, for the world right now. Okay? When I get to talk to some of my individuals who are sex workers, all right, this is what I share with them as well. I say, hey, I understand sex work is work, but because some of you have high libidos, very large libidos, don't you know you can save the world with that pussy? Don't you know you can save the world with that cock, with that energy that you carry, right? Let me teach you how to raise it up so you can, I don't know, you say you want to start your own business. Let me teach you how to raise that up so that you can do that. Let me teach you how to raise it up so that your God and Goddess can guide you and lead you on what else you can do with all that power, because you got a lot of it. You know? So that is the message, folks. That is what it looks like. And so when you're waking this Kundalini, it's wakening the DNA helix, the DNA strands, which begins to coil its way up your spine, up the core of your body, and it gets to your head, literally to the top of your head, to your crown, and it's activating all of your chakras as it's making its way up. Now, if you go and fuck it away, like Solange says, I try to sex it away, boom, 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 but that make it any better. I know I messed up the words, but you get my point. I try to sex it away, away. It's like cranes in the sky. Sometimes I don't want to feel those metal clouds. Anyway, right? She said she tried to sex it away, didn't make it any better. The point Solange was making in that song, and that particularly that verse, that hook, was that, damn, I was looking to fulfill something I was trying to do, but it wasn't quite fulfilling because I was missing something. And that part of that she and so many of us have missed because we weren't taught it, because we were taught to demonize it, vilify it, shun it, suppress it, which many of us are wondering why some of you are suffering from extreme levels of anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. I was too. I break it down in the book that anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts are merely the symptoms of your suppressed superpower. Your suppressed superpower being your sensuality and sexuality, which all in all is really your God and Goddess coiled and suppressed in the root of you, never being activated to awaken and to rise. So as the Kundalini begins to awaken and rise, it's activating each chakra as it rises up to your crown. You want your snake to walk upright. Do you know that there was a time when snakes supposedly did walk upright? That's a story for another time. You can do your own research on that. But this energy within us, we want it to stand upright. We want it to rise up so that it can speak to us like it spoke to our ancestor Eve, like it spoke to our ancestor before her, Lilith. We want to raise this energy up because when this energy is awakened and rises up and activates each of our chakra points as it rises, you know what it's doing? It is healing us. It is curing our bodies. It is making our skin flawless. Hello. It's helping us to be fit. Hello. It activates our intelligence, our wisdom, our confidence, our beauty. This energy standing upright within us is helping us to not only reclaim our power, but sit back on our throne so that we can be leaders and rulers of ourselves. Because now we're in our right mind. We are in our right mind because we have awakened our ancient energy. So, as you do this work on and in yourself, imagine your Kundalini raising itself up and activating your chakras. Remember the picture of the tree, how it wrapped around. Oh, I want to go back to something somebody said when they said, actually, that's an invasive root that's killing the tree. I said, you're absolutely right. In addition to the other things I said, you're absolutely right. The Kundalini's job, when it awakens, when you awaken that dragon, it is going to kill off some things. It's supposed to. The Kundalini is the Kundalini fire. The Kundalini is what I call raising divine hell. Literally, it's what I call raising divine hell. I dive deep into that aspect and activate in the book as well. But you literally are raising up the fires of hell, because the Kundalini is a snake energy. It's a fire energy. So once you wake that snake up, baby, it is coming to kill and destroy. Just like how remember, religious doctrine taught us that the devil came to kill, steal, and destroy. Right? You are awakening your inner beast, your inner devil. Yep, you are. Some of you are probably like, what the hell is she talking about? Ooh, you got to read the book. But here's what I'm going to tell you. When you awaken your inner beast, which is your inner God, your inner deity, you awaken this Kundalini fire power. Once it rises up, it is activating each of your chakras by fire. This is how you are tried by fire. How do you think diamonds are made? By fire, right? It has to come kill and steal and destroy. What is coming to kill, steal, and destroy is the parts of you that never really were you in the first place. The parts of you is coming to kill, steal away, and destroy the parts of you that are keeping you stuck, stagnant, broken, broke out. Ooh, honey. When these fires come up, it is the fires of hell that is coming to burn away everything that you are not, so that it can refine everything that you are. It is coming to consume so that you may be refined. It's all spiritual. It's all mental. It's all metaphorical. Everything that the fires are coming to do is going to be happening within you. And as it happens within you, you're going to see your life around you begin to change. Meaning friends you used to have aren't going to be your friends anymore, because you're going to be headed down different trajectories. Relationships you're in romantically, they're going to end because they can't go where you're going. So, as a matter of fact, some of you will never get there with some of the partners you're probably in relationships with. You'll never get to what your purpose is being in some of the friendships you're in. Why? Because those energies that are around you are keeping you stuck, stagnant, broken. They can't go where you're going. And as long as you cling to them, you will never fulfill and activate your purpose. And your Kundalini energy, you may be able to wake it up, but you won't be able to raise it up. Oh, I know. These fires come to kill, steal, and destroy all the shit that never really was you in the first place, so that the true you and your true power and your true mission and your true purpose may be shown, may be integrated. See some of these pictures with the woman with the dragon? That's you. That's you having activated your beast. You are now beauty and beast in this case. Beauty and the beast. You have now activated your divine masculinity and your divine femininity when you awaken your Kundalini fire and it comes to do its work within you, you are now both dark and light. You are now heaven and hell. You are now beauty and beast. You are now divine feminine and divine masculine. You are now sun and moon. You are now light and dark, baby. You are now angel and demon. You are now angel and devil. Ooh! This is the work of the 144, the chosen one. It is imperative that you are activating, integrating all infinite parts of the same whole, which is your dark and light, heaven and hell, angel, demon, so on and so forth. You must awaken this Kundalini energy, and you must raise it up so that it may sit upright in you, so that you become an upright, full-fledged individual on this planet, standing fully in your power, activating your divine mission and purpose. And when you do this, not only will you and your life evolve, but everyone in your orbit's life who deserves to be there will benefit from your fire. Now, keep in mind that this fire works both ways. So, as you gain your emotional intelligence and mental health, once that Kundalini is sitting upright and it's crowned and sitting in the throne within you, meaning you're sitting on your throne and in your power, people better tread lightly, because depending on how they approach you will determine which of you they get, whether they get your beauty or whether they get your newly activated and risen beast. So I hope y'all enjoy this. I know I have. Make sure to like, share this video, and make sure to comment in the description box below, okay? If you are subscribed here on Alchemynity because turning pain into power is sexy, thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. And I'm glad that whatever I am sharing, that it's resonating with you on a deeper level. Ooh, honey. I'm feeling hot right now. I'm aroused sharing this message, as you all know. To those of you who are not subscribed here, what the hell are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you like and share this video as well. But I'm glad you came anyway, if this is all you take with you. Again, don't forget your copy of Activate, Unorthodox Philosophies that explore anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts as symptoms of suppressed superpower. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. To those of you who have got some merch, Fear of Feminine Power is a Mental Disorder, and Pussy Power, Poose. Yeah, I'm redefining the meaning of pussy power because it has nothing to do with pouring it out on Tyrone, and everything to do with awakening and arousing yourself in more ways than one. So if you got some merch, thank you. If you haven't, go ahead and check that out. All of the information is in the description box below. You can click my Linktree link that will guide you to everywhere that I am. Listen, if it's not on my Linktree, it is not me, okay? The only other YouTube I have is my lifestyle YouTube, which is Timmésha Burgess. So if you'd like to subscribe there, go ahead and do that too. I will see y'all or speak with y'all in the next video. Ciao for now. Mwah.